We are just outside of the Maasai Mara at Perini Lion Camp. It is the start of the wildebeest migration, which is actually a little bit late this year because they had a lot of rain, but that rain means that everything's really green. When I was here last time was one of my first times shooting wildlife, and since then I have done a ton of wildlife photography and I am just so in love with it. My favorite thing to do is just show the charisma of an animal, show interactions between animals, especially if they're social, like lions. I'm just paying attention to that animal's body language, what they're up to, what they're doing, and I'm just trying to shoot any expression that stands out to me. With wildlife, for me, it helps to have a film mentality so that I'm not shooting a ton of images, which is really easy to do with wildlife photography. So you've got it set on burst mode, you have your settings set, and you are just waiting for the right moment. It's really important when you shoot wildlife to prioritize the shutter speed. Animals can move pretty fast, and if you don't want blur in your images, then you need to make sure that you have a fast enough shutter speed. I like to show depth in my wildlife photography, so shooting at a wide aperture is like a little bit riskier because your subject might not be in sharp focus, but if you get that focus, you nail it. It's so beautiful because you have this like soft foliage around them, but their face is in focus. I find the continuous autofocus on my Sony to be really helpful. I'm usually using the continuous autofocus in a zone so that I have the basic area designated, and then I allow the autofocus to get the specifics. When I'm shooting any wildlife, the first thing I'm thinking about is the shutter speed. Then we'll adjust my ISO to make sure the image is well exposed. The aperture, if I have a clear shot at the animal, I'm okay with having a really wide aperture. So in this example, I'm at 5.6, which is what this lens goes to, just to make sure that I can get a lot of light because the sun hasn't come up yet. And then it's just a waiting game. You kind of frame it. Oh, it's so nice. Another important thing that sometimes people don't think about with wildlife photography is wiping your metadata so that you're not giving poachers a treasure map to that animal. This trip has just shown me once again the power that lies outside of the comfort zone, and I think the next time I lead a trip like this, I'm going to keep asking uncomfortable questions and being willing to be wrong and sharing those learnings with the people that experience these trips with me. Before I was a photographer professionally, I worked in outdoor education and I led trips for teenagers around the world. There's two types of skills in outdoor education. You've got hard skills, which is like setting up a tent, learning to cook. And then you've got soft skills, which is like facilitating conversations or knowing when to listen to somebody. I think that the soft skills were always so much more important in that job. I think it's the same for photography. With photography, it's not just your ISO or your shutter speed. It is so much more about the purpose behind it. I hope that by bringing you along with me, you saw the importance of that. To me, empathy and connection will blow the technical stuff out of the water any day of the week.